So the first card today is going to be Frizzard. It is a skill card and it says randomly apply the effect 4 times to your team, heal and apply 1 damage boost each time. It heals for the value of 20 and we know that this effect will be played 4 times. It says it's random. How random effects will work is yet to be clear or determined. So an interesting card to look at. Again, we have to wait to the game until we know more about this card. The next card is going to be Small Fry. Again, a skill card costing 1 energy. It's going to apply 3 poison to all enemies and heal the Axie for 30 HP. An amazing card, especially for my poison comp players. Something that I will definitely be looking at. The next card is Swell. Again, matching up. It is a skill card with 1 energy cost. You will shuffle 3 Confused into your opponent's discard pile, so you're messing up the opponent's ability to have fluidity with their draw and give them limited options throughout the game. The next card in the reptile category is going to be Sidebar. Now Sidebar is going to be an attack card and it costs 1 energy to use. You can see that it does 50 damage and it will apply 2 poison and bleed for 4 turns to a random enemy. Now the next card that we have is Sidebar. It is an attack card, which is proving to us that we will have attack based cards, and we've seen secret cards now all the way to the right, and we already know that we get skill cards as well. Maybe we'll see some powers and banish versions and innate and all types of things with the ear cards. Now the next card that we have lined up is Sidebar. It is the first attacking card that we've seen in the ears. It costs 1 energy to use. We will be doing damage equal to the value of 50, and the effect is to apply 2 poison and bleed for 4 turns to a random enemy. Now I hope that the target is randomized, and so the attack, the 50 damage goes to the random target and the effects go onto the target that was attacked, and it's not that we attack the normal Axie or the frontmost Axie, the intended target of a normal attack, and the effects are then distributed onto a random enemy that isn't the enemy that you attacked. We don't know yet, but we will find out soon. Pagona is our next reptile card. It is again an attack card and does 60 damage, costing 1 energy to use. It will apply fragile for 4 turns, but it just will still be fragile. We will have that boosted damage onto shielded opponents. The final card that we will have in the reptile category is a secret card, Curved Spine. It costs 1 energy to use and will give you 60 shield. The ability is that you get to target an ally, and the next turn after the target is attacked, you will apply bleed to the attacker for 4 turns. This is going to be a great utility to be playing onto your front line and getting that early bleed damage in Origin. So far, pretty decent from the reptile cards. If I was to choose a favorite out of these, it would definitely be either be Small Fry or Sidebar. That is because I am a poison player. I also think Pagona is very good, and Curved Spine seems like a great defensive option also. Now the next body type that we have is Aquatic. Them Aqua boys are ready. The first card that we see is Nemo. It is a skill card, and again it's going to be a 0 energy cost card itself. The ability reads gain 1 energy if this Axie's HP is full, so a great early game card to be using. We don't have the banish effect like its tail partnering part. Again, with the Axie's HP needing to be full to gain the energy, it will lose its value later in the game, I suppose. But we have that ability to give ourselves a nice heal to the value of 25 HP. The next aquatic card that we have is Tiny Fan. Again, it is a skill card with 0 energy cost. The ability reads to draw 1 card and gain 3 damage boosts. This looks like a nice card to be used in the middle of a combination so that you gain a card and then also have a damage boost stacked for your next attack. It doesn't cost you anything to use, so it seems like something that could, you know, work within the mix of things. The third ear part that we have in the aquatic body type is Gill. It is the first aqua attack card and it is a 1 energy cost card. It will be doing 50 damage and you gain 1 bubble. We are yet to know what a bubble does, how it works, whatever. But you get a bubble, mate. Just have fun with your bubbles. Now, the fourth card on the aquatic section is going to be Sea Slug, and this is the first 2 energy cost card we've seen from the ears. It is an attack card, and it has an ability cleansing 2 debuffs, and you also gain 2 cleansers. It's doing a huge 110 damage, so arguably our highest damaging ear card available. But that cleanser ability also is going to be really useful. Inkling is going to be the next card. It is an attack card. Again, 1 energy cost to use. It's going to do 60 damage, and the ability is just like Tadpole, where you shuffle 1 Jinx into your opponent's discard pile. The final aqua card is going to be Bubble Maker. It is going to be a skill-based card giving us 50 shield. It's 1 energy cost, and it will target any ally, and the target gains 2 bubble. Again, we don't know what the bubbles do, but bubbles, mate. Our next body type is Beast type, and the next card that we're going to look at is Zen. It is going to be a skill-based card giving us 65 HP heal value, right? It costs 1 energy to use, and its ability reads as follows. If initial, this Axie meditates. Initial being the first card played in the sequence, but I believe that meditates, we don't know what it is yet. I would assume that for this much HP healing factor, that meditate would be some form of like a cost for that much heal. So maybe like rest in Pokemon, where the Pokemon would use rest. It heals all of its health back, but it has to stay asleep and have the sleep status on it. Maybe meditate makes us miss the next turn because he's so peacefully meditating. Who knows? The next card in the Beast category is Puppy. Again, it is a skill card with 1 energy cost. It's going to heal for 25 HP value, but the ability states that we will heal your team. If initial, remove 1 curse card from your deck also. The next Beast card is Innocent Lamb. It is actually a skill card and the first banish that we have seen, actually. The ability is as follows. Select and add 1 copy of this Axie's skill card to your hand, and then you have to banish the Innocent Lamb card. It's a 1 energy cost and gives us no shield or attack value, but I believe the ability is stating that you play this card and then you can go into your deck and locate any skill card that the Axie using this card has. Now, the next Beast card that we have is Belieber. It is going to be an attack card with 1 energy cost. We're doing 20 damage, but the ability states that we will randomly deal 3 hits, which means we're doing 60 damage as average, but the 3 hits will be randomized. We are going to gain 1 rage per hit. How effective rage will be, we don't yet know, but we're going to be able to target and retarget using this card. Nutcracker is confirmed, the synergy card that we expected it to be. Again, an ear card being an attack card. It costs 1 energy to use and has a base of 60 damage, but all Nutcracker cards of this Axie gain 6 damage this battle. So again, that triple nut combo is going to be pretty damn scary. The final Beast card that we have is Nian. Again, this is another attack card for the Beasts. It costs 1 energy to use and does a base of 65 damage. The ability allows us to deal a bonus 15 damage against bleeding enemies. Again, combine this with the amount of ways that we can cause bleed in this game. This is a very useful ear card to be having on the offensive side of things. The next body type are the Plant Boys. The first card here is Clover. It's actually just a skill card for 1 energy cost, and it summons a Clover. Let's just hope it's 4 leaves. Now, the next card that we see in the plant category is Rosa. So you get the ability to apply 2 poison and sleep for 2 turns to a random enemy, but then you must banish this card. The innate ability means that you always will have it, right, when you start the game. But I do think this has quite a lot of utility. And the innate ability is the first ear card we'd have actually seen with the innate ability on it. So nice little card here, Rosa. The next plant card is going to be Hollow. It is a skill card and costs 0 energy to use. This Axie loses 75 HP and summons a trunk when playing this card. The trunk is going to act as an ally. I believe this ally potentially will be a bulkier ally than the other versions. So like a mushroom and a robin. Hollow or the trunk, I would imagine, would be a lot bulkier. Now, the next plant cards that we have is Sakura. It is our first power ear card. It actually costs 2 energy to play, but the power card means that it will stay in play for the rest of the game. Its ability will not fade. The ability is to target any ally. Whenever you play a card this battle, heal this Axie for 10 HP. So we can choose an Axie on the team. It could be ourselves, I believe, but we can choose an Axie on the team. And each time a card is played, you literally gain 10 HP. So a constant healing process. This could be used, strategically on an Axie that is very hard to kill or has very high shield options. So that in the grand scheme of things, each time that we are playing cards, we're also gaining HP. A great card to be looking at and well worth 2 energy cost, in my opinion. The next card is Leafy. It's going to be an attack card and it randomly deals 2 hits consume up to 3 leaves to deal 5 damage per leaf consumed, and it's going to be doing 10 base damage at 0 cost. Right, these leaf cards, I believe we'll attain them in our hands by some means. I don't yet know. Right, I don't know how I get leaves, but if you sacrifice the leaves, you're gonna gain 5 damage. It doesn't seem that great, to be honest, but there's Leafy. There you go, mate. The final plant card is Lotus. It is a skill card with no ability. We're just gonna gain a nice 50 shield and heal ourselves for 30 HP. Decent card, you know, does what it says on the tin. Bish bash bosh. Love it, mate. Now the next body type on the list is Bugs, and we're going to start off with the Tassels Ear card. It is a skill card here and costs 1 energy to use. You can see that it is going to heal to the value of 10 HP, and the ability says that we will heal our entire team. You heal for 4 bonus HP per card in your hand, which is, it sounds, you know, that sounds very useful. The next card is Lava. It is a skill card also and costs 0 energy to play. You get to scry 2 cards, which just means to discard them essentially. Gain 1 energy if discarded one of them, being a skill card. So the 2 cards that you scry, if one of the 2 is in fact a skill card, you as the Axie that used the Lava card gain an energy. So pretty nice utility there, a better version of the discards, and I think this will be quite a popular option for Bugs. Our next Bug card is going to be Earwing. It's an attack card that costs 1 energy to use, and as you can see, it says that we will attack all enemies but deal 3 bonus damage per card in your hand. So, you know, again, the same thing with the 10 card setup. You could be doing an extra 30 damage on this card's base, so doing a nice 50 damage across the board to your opponent's team. Maybe the utility of having 1 Tassels Axie and 1 Earwing Axie allows you to progressively gain HP as a team and then progressively help the other team as a team lose HP together. Whether that will synergize nicely, I don't know, but it sounds like something that could work. The 4th Bug card today is Ear Breathing. It is an attack card and costs 2 energy to use. The base damage is very small at 30, but the ability reads that we will randomly deal 4 hits. For each hit, we get to shuffle 1 goo into the opponent's discard pile. So I don't think there's an ability to miss these hits. So I would assume that each time we use this card, we get to shuffle 4 goo into our opponent's discard pile, which could be pretty detrimental throughout the game. You know, if you've got 4 extra cards coming through into your hand that aren't useful, that's gonna suck. So it is a really disruptive ability, worth the 2 energy cost potentially. The next Bug card is going to be Beetle Spike. It is an attack card and costs 1 energy to use. We get to deal pure damage. What that means just yet, I don't know, but there is also a follow-up effect of applying bleed for 4 turns. The base damage is 45, so it's not overwhelming, but you know, it gets to apply that bleed effect, which helps it in the long run of things. A decent card nevertheless. The final Bug card is going to be Leaf Bug. It is a skill based card and will cost 1 energy to use. It also reads that whenever this card is drawn, you gain 30 shield, and it gives you a shield value of 45. So pretty decent, a nice defensive set out there. Nothing special, to be honest, but a nice card to have as a defensive option. So the final body type is going to be the Birds. The first card is Pink Cheek, and it is a skill card. It costs 0 energy to use, and what we can do with this card is discard up to 2 cards. So we have the choice of discarding 1 or 2 cards, and then we get to draw however many we chose. So if we chose 1, we draw 1. If you choose 2, you draw 2. It also has the banish effect on this card, so once it's used, it's gone. But a nice way to shuffle your hand around early game to set up if you need to. So yeah, pretty decent. The next card in the bird category is Little Owl, and it confirms that synergy with the mouth card. It is going to be an attack card with 1 energy cost to use. The base damage is 60, but as we know, it's going to apply 6 bonus damage to this card for every Little Owl card of this Axie. So if there's 4 cards, now we have the mouth and the ear, so that's 4 cards in the deck. 4 times 6, there you go, add that to 20, you're gonna be doing about 84 damage. So pretty decent 2 damage cards. You're gonna have 2 84 damage cards off the rip, which is pretty damn frightening, especially with the birds and their other damaging cards as well. third bird card that we have today is Peacemaker, another synergy card that we can see. We have the mouth Peacemaker part also. It is an attack card for the ear part. It's going to cost 1 energy to use and does a base of 60 damage. The ability is identical to Peacemaker, the mouth card, applying weak for 2 turns, and if the target previously has weak, this card will do a bonus of 15 damage. So by using the 2 cards together, you can apply weak and get that bonus damage whilst also doing it at 2 ends of the spectrum of your turn. So the first card being Peacemaker, and then you can use another card and then use Peacemaker again, gaining 15 bonus damage, but then leaving it weak for 2 turns for it to have its turn afterwards. So again, a nice way to manipulate gaining bonus damage whilst also limiting your opponent's ability to deal big damage. The fourth bird card is going to be Early Bird. It is an attack card and does 65 base damage. It's a 1 energy cost, and if initial, we get to draw a card. Pretty decent, you know, just bog standard attack card, does great damage, has a nice side effect. The 5th bird card is going to be Curly, and just like Early Bird, it's an attack card with a 1 energy cost. It does base 65 damage, but you deal 25% more damage to shielded targets, a bit similar to Pincer and some of those cards we've already been used to in Battles version 2. The last card of the day is going to be Risky Bird, and following suit with all of the other risky parts, with huge 90 base damage, it costs 1 energy to use, and this card will actually apply weak to this Axie for 2 turns after being used. Synergizes nicely, you know, those risky cards all the same, so standard, pretty much expected it. So that's all she wrote, family. We went through all of the ear cards. Hopefully you heard me loud and clear. You know, I'm just blown away by all of these cards and all the options. I really didn't think the ear cards were going to be substantial or like, you know, regular cards. I thought they would be like filler cards essentially, so you'd have a lot more cards at 0 cost, not really doing much damage, but they really surprised me. Let me know what you think about the ears cards in the comments, and maybe some speculation on some eyes cards as we wait for that final release. Once we have the eyes cards, we can really start theory crafting fully and putting potential comps together. That's what I'm excited for, and I definitely will be making a video when that stuff comes out. If you've been here and you've stuck around for the entire video, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And if you liked this video, please make sure to like it. It really helps push the content out there to other users that might like it also. And it just, you know, it just helps me grow, mate. Just help me grow. I'm trying to build, bro. Help me build. But again, thank you for coming through to the channel. If you aren't already subscribed, make sure you do hit that subscribe button, as we will be dropping more Axie Origin content as things progress. And other than that, G-Host, thank you for hearing me, mate. Now you gotta see me. Hopefully you're seeing me. Maybe if G-Host is watching this video, bro, like, my life's complete, bro. That's G-Ho, bro. That's fucking G-Ho. But anyway, you've been here too long. Get the fuck out. I'll see you later.